For as long as she could remember, Hannah had been told never to cross the border stones. They're not just rocks, her grandmother always said. They protect us. They keep the dragon from waking. But Hannah was 13. And 13 are often curious, braver than they should be, and more stubborn than warnings can stop. She had always seen the dragon, a giant black shape in the distance, high on top of the Evermount. It looked like a broken statue, frozen in time, unmoving. Her village called it the blind god. Some feared it. Others prayed to it in silence. But Hannah didn't feel fear. She felt sadness. They said the dragon had once protected their world, that it could fly through the skies like lightning and turn back great machines of war, until something terrible happened. A betrayal, a wound that stole its sight and chained it to the mountain in endless sleep. No one dared go near it, not even the elders. But Hannah's heart burned with something else. She wanted to help. She had learned healing from her grandmother. The old ways, the silent herbs, the silver roots, the spring water that came only from the mountain's heart. They called it earth drops, water touched by moonlight, steeped in ancient leaves. It was forbidden to waste, sacred. Some even believed it could fix things no one else could. One cold autumn morning, before even the roosters had cried, Hannah packed a small satchel, a little food, a thick cloth, and 2 tiny glass vials filled. With earth drops, she crossed the border stones. Alone, no one saw her go. The air past the stones felt different, heavier, quieter. The trees stood taller. The leaves whispered more. For hours she climbed, through cold winds and steep paths, past roots thick like arms and rocks, sharp like knives. She kept going. She didn't stop, not even when her hands bled a little. And finally, she saw it. The dragon. It was bigger than she'd ever imagined. Its body was curled around the mountaintop, like a sleeping mountain itself. Its black scales were dull and cracked, like old armor left in the rain. And its eyes huge and cloudy looked. Like pale glass, it wasn't dead. It was breathing, slow, but alive. Then it spoke. Without moving its mouth, its voice came like thunder deep in her chest. It echoed in the rocks and in her bones. "You smell of earth," it said. Hannah froze. Her heart nearly stopped. "You hear me? I hear your footsteps. I feel your breath, but I cannot see." The voice wasn't angry. It wasn't loud. It was old, tired. "I want to help," Hannah said, though her voice shook. "You are a child," the dragon replied. "I'm a healer," she answered. "My grandmother taught me." She said, "Earth drops can heal deep pain, even eyes." Dragon did not reply. Its head stayed still. With hands shaking, Hannah stepped closer. The ground felt warm under her feet. The dragon's giant face lay still like carved stone. Slowly, carefully, she reached into her satchel and pulled out one vial. The liquid inside sparkled like morning dew. She stood on a large rock near its eye. It was as big as a pond, pale and blind. "I don't know if this will work," she whispered, "but I'll try." She opened the vial, with one hand holding the lid and the other steadying herself on the dragon's cheek. She dropped 3 tiny drops into the center of the dragon's eye. Nothing happened. Not at first, then the wind stopped. The mountain held its breath. The clouds above seemed to freeze in place. And then the dragon blinked. Its eyelid moved slowly. The pale white cloud in its eye began to fade. A spark appeared, gold. Then another. Then both eyes lit up like small suns, like stars returning to a night that had forgotten how to shine. The dragon inhaled deeply. Its chest rose like a mountain lifting. "I can see it," said Hannah, stepped back. Her breath caught in her throat. "Does it hurt?" she asked softly. "No." The dragon said. Its eyes blinked again, sharper this time. "It is joy. I forgot what light looked like." Then the dragon rose, its wings spread wide, stretching across the sky. The clouds broke. The wind returned. The entire mountaintop shook down. Below, in the village far beneath, people saw the movement. They screamed. Some fell to their knees. Others ran. Bells rang, but the dragon did not roar. It looked down at Hannah. "What is your name, Hannah? I will remember it." Then with a sound like thunder tearing through heaven, the dragon leaped into the sky. The clouds split. The sun blazed behind. It vanished into light. 3 days passed, and then the sky burned again, but this time not from fire, from stars, from ships, thousands of them, 13,000 ships. Shining like mirrors, filled the sky. Not human ships, not warships. Something vast, watching, waiting, and they were not alone. 3 days after the dragon flew into the sky, the people of Hannah's village woke to a sky full of stars that moved. They were not stars, they were ships. Thousands of silver ships floated above the mountains, the rivers, and the forests. The world had never seen anything like it. They did not make sound. They did not shoot fire. They just hovered. 13,000 ships. Silent. Watching. Waiting. Some people cried. Some hid in their homes. The elders prayed. The warriors grabbed their weapons and ran to the borders. But no one knew what to do. No one understood what was happening then. One ship moved. It floated down slowly toward Hannah's village. The crowd gathered. Mothers held their children tight. Fathers stood in front of their homes. Hannah's grandmother, Hysoon, held her staff with both hands. The ship stopped above the village square. It opened. Light spilled out. And from the light, the dragon returned. But he was different now. He did not look like a beast. He stood tall and 2 feet like a man. His body was still made of scales, but they were polished and bright, like shining armor. His wings folded behind him like a cloak. Around his chest and shoulders was armor made from wind, stone, and sky. His eyes glowed like twin suns. He stepped forward. A round, glowing gem floated beside him. When he spoke, the voice came from the gem. It was smooth, clear, like music. "This child healed me," he said. He pointed to Hannah, who stood in the middle of the crowd. Her hands shook. The crowd gasped. She crossed the stones. Someone whispered. She touched the dragon. Another said the dragon nodded. Through her, the pact is restored. The elders stepped forward. "What pact?" one of them asked. "You have forgotten," the dragon said. "Long ago, Earth was not alone. It was part of something greater, a cradle world, a sacred home. I was your guardian. I protected you from those who wanted to steal your skies." He looked up at the ships. "These are the guardians. They have waited for my signal. They have waited for me to see again." Turned back to the crowd. Double quotes, "Now we see you." The people were silent. The mountain winds blew gently. The trees seemed to listen to. Hannah took a step forward. Her voice was quiet but steady. "Why did they come? Why now?" The dragon looked at her. "To honor you," he said. "Your kindness was seen across the stars. When you healed my eyes, a signal was sent, a light returned to this world. The light was you." Tears filled her grandmother's eyes. "You were right to cross the stones," she whispered. A door opened on the ship. From it, tall beings stepped out. They looked strange and beautiful. Their skin shimmered. Their eyes were like rivers of light. They wore long robes that sparkled like space. One of them knelt before Hannah. He held out a scroll. "A treaty renewed," he said. "Signed by heart, healed by hand." The scroll opened on its own. It glowed with symbols no one could read, but all could feel it felt. Warm, alive. Hannah looked up at the sky. The ships moved slowly, forming patterns. Lanterns floated from each one, rising into the sky like golden fireflies. They filled the night with soft light. Every ship lit a small orb, glowing bright. 13,000 lights above the earth. Not weapons, not war peace. The villagers stood still, watching in wonder. The warriors dropped their weapons. The elders wept. The dragon stood beside Hannah. "You were once protectors," he said. "You forgot, but now you remember, because of her." Nodded. At Hannah, the tall being stepped back and bowed to the people. Then, slowly they returned to their ship. The scroll remained floating in front of Hannah. When she touched it, it vanished in a flash of light and left a soft mark glowing on her hand, a mark shaped like a star. That night the people danced under the lanterns. The sky was alive. The world felt new. Hannah sat on the mountain again. The dragon rested beside her. His eyes watched the lights above. "They will write your name in the stars," he said. "Will they remember forever?" she asked. "Yes," the dragon said. "Because light never truly disappears. It waits, just like I did." She leaned against his warm side and smiled, and far above them, the ships waited, not as watchers, not as judges, but as friends. An Earth once forgotten was remembered again. All because one brave girl crossed the stones and gave back the gift of sight. The stars had seen her, and they would never forget.